I think isolation can be a huge risk as a result of the illusion of connectedness that our mobiles give us. In the United States, there is an increased rate, a dramatically increased rate in suicides among returning veterans from the Iraq and Afghanistan wars, not just the actual soldiers, but even their immediate families. And it's a very interesting dynamic to be looking at, and there are social scientists looking very closely at this. There is a theory, although it has not been borne out yet, but there is a theory that mobile phones may actually be contributing to this in some way because of microtime on the one hand, and also because of the illusion of connectedness. In terms of microtime, the use of mobiles in the field for the average soldier, I'm not talking about commanders who have had the use of mobile communication, I think, since World War II, you know, the heavy packs. But this is the first time that soldiers have mobiles in the field, and so there is no lag time for the transmission of bad news. So you're out there on the field fighting, and you know, irrespective of what anybody's politics are, we've got men and women in the field who are risking their lives, and they make their daily phone call home, and they find out, oh, you know, I hate to tell you, but Dad died. That's shocking news no matter who you are or where you are. But Dad died, or one of the children is really, really sick and in the hospital, or instead of a Dear John letter, you get the Dear John phone call. Dear John, I want a divorce. There's just the blowback, the emotional blowback from this is fierce. And if you lose hope on the home front, how are you going to keep up the spirit on the fighting front? It's a really difficult situation. Conversely, once you get home, veterans organizations around the world, I mean, the veterans historically have had one of the strongest social networks universally, always, because veterans, people who have been soldiers and been in the field, share a bond that no one else can possibly understand. So the traditional mechanism is you come home from the battlefront and you regularly get together with your buddies. You go to the social hall, you have a beer, you shoot pool, you have, you know, a slap on the back, a shoulder to cry on. Now people can connect on their mobile phones. They can use wireless technology to see somebody on a face-to-face phone call over the internet or even on a phone now. So it gives the illusion of being connected, and you are connected on a certain level, but it distorts the sense of needing to get out and physically, as we were talking about earlier, physically have face-to-face contact and spend time and really have a hug and a shoulder to cry on and anything like that. So you wind up with a bunch of vets that are talking to people that they've been in combat with, and they know that they're connected, they know that they're talking, and yet they feel isolated. The democratization of language is that we all have phones, so we are all able to communicate with each other. But in order to communicate with each other, we do have to have some sort of common language. English has certainly been the language of business for an awful long time, and I would dare say that in Korea, people are not speaking English on their mobile phones. But we have a common language of emoticons. You know, we have the common language of the smiley face, the sad face, the raised eyebrows, you know, the frowns. I don't need to be the emoticons for you, but this is becoming universally understood iconography, which in a certain sense almost takes us back to cave paintings. But it's 21st century cave paintings on digital technology. We also have devices that are universally bought and sold, and while there are certain accommodations that are going to be made for every market, I think it goes without saying that press the green button for on, press the red button for off, move the trackpad, and now we're getting away from that, it's just use your finger. So who's looking at this and what effect it's having on us? Are we going to lose, are we going to lose the ability to learn how to write longhand? And when I went to school, we used to spend pages where we would practice writing one letter until we would get it just right. And the teacher would say, "That's very good, Florie, that looks very nice. Florie has lovely penmanship," right? Not only do people not know how to write in cursive anymore, or they're losing any inclination to do so, but with the use of text messaging and with the use of Twitter, you know, we're getting our communication down not even to 140 words, but 140 characters, which means that when I say you, it's not even spelled Y-O-U anymore, it's just you, B. We're really making large changes to language, which if you look at in the blip of an eye, because we live in the blip of an eye, in a second we'll be gone. But what does this mean down the road? 2 generations from now, are we going to have young people who don't know that there's another way, who are going to look at beautiful penmanship and calligraphy as old-timey and a thing of the past, like horses and buggies? I wonder, and I want other people to wonder about this. It doesn't mean that some of the changes that are being made aren't for the better. You know, I'm not a naysayer of all of it. I'm a question sayer, so that collectively as a group we can say, this is good, we'll keep it. This is not so good. You know what? Maybe we should remind people how to do these things so that they don't die out, so that cultural indigenous dances don't die because people are spending all their time playing games on cell phones, and so that songs don't die because we're too busy just singing into karaoke machines. You know, we have to keep the humanity somehow.